I am. I thought, the date night thing worked out great. Bill, I have to compliment you. She was beautiful. Thursday night, you did all right for yourself, and pleased with our crowd. I know it showed up a little bit later than it normally does because of the 6 o'clock start, but boy, they got a game, and they were enthused and loud, and it was a very exciting Thursday night here at the Sun Bowl. Did not turn out, obviously, the way that we wanted it to, but wasn't too many people leaving early. I watched a game this weekend where there was a lot of Orange fans leaving early, but it wasn't bright orange like ours. We have the brightest orange in the state of Texas. I have finished my Christmas list pretty much. I don't think I'll be getting any more gifts. Stony Brook got the pass interception on the 2-yard line going in to score. Stony Brook was given the present of the calling the pass and having the guard think it was a run, and the guard pulled and hit our quarterback, who dropped the ball and picked it up, scooped and scored. That's when you scoop up the ball and then you score for a touchdown. And then the Christmas present fumbling the ball into the end zone. So they had 3 presents we'll be sending out to New York along with those 3. SMU, the quarterback pass that was fumbled in the end zone and for a touchdown. New Mexico State, actually New Mexico State didn't really take the gifts that we were giving them. They got a fumble with our 4-minute offense where we secure the ball and all that kind of stuff, and then something we practice all the time, every week, victory offense, where you snap the ball and take a knee, and we were unable to do that against them, but they didn't like the gift, I guess, so they didn't accept it twice. And interestingly enough, we practiced that victory offense with all of the quarterbacks, just not the first-string quarterback, because a lot of times you'll run the victory offense at the end of the game when you're ahead and take a knee, and you give it to and you let your third-string quarterback go in there, and he'll mess it up. And so we've always made sure we practiced all the quarterbacks at that. But obviously we struggled with the victory offense against Southern Florida. We gave them the present of a pick. Houston, the running back fumbled, and they scooped and scored against us. And then we decided not to cover one of their wide receivers down here in the corner. He just lined up there all alone. We threw him the ball. So I think that's about enough, don't you? I think that's about enough. So we won't be giving out any Christmas gifts the rest of the year. We decided it. Can't afford it. Joyce and I can't afford it, and Bob makes me deduct those things when they go wrong from the coaches' salaries at the end of the month. So he could, I guess, if he wanted to. I better not give him any ideas. Yeah, I knew that. But we played physical against Houston, and we were in really good physical condition. I felt like in the fourth quarter we were not sucking. We were still in it in the game, and we showed good discipline. We only had 2 penalties. We had played well on offense at times, rushed for over 300 yards. Of course, Joe Banyard had 250 yards and averaged 10 yards a carry, and I guess that makes play selection a little easier when you have a running back that's averaging 10 yards a carry. So we did get more first downs than them, Houston, in the game. Defense had a tough night, however, and Houston's good. They're number 1 in the nation, and they're good. But we're still missing tackles in the last 2 games that we've played, And we're working hard to correct that in practice, working very, very hard. Every practice, we practice tackling, and we're doing a good job of it in special teams, and I think our special teams is playing well. Probably I would rank their performance as the highest of the three, offense, defense, and special teams. They've just done a real nice job. Overall, we had our chances and came up a little bit short in that game. A little bit short, like about 3 inches higher on the last pass would have tied the game, you know, just 3 inches shorter. But that's the way it is in athletics. If you're a horse and you're racing in the Preakness and you lose it by 3 inches, you're still second, you know. You didn't win. And so that's what's interesting and fascinating about sports is it's just the little things and not very much difference between winning and losing. I still believe we have a good team, however, and we have a lot of games left, and we're encouraged by it, and we're excited about the rest of the season. We gave the team off this last week without practicing with pads on. That's what we call giving them an off day, but they lifted 4 days out of the 5 hard and ran. We concentrated on their academics and made sure they were in all their classes, all their tutors were at. We went to them with them and mentor meetings and everything and checked every class. And so trying to get them back on track. If someone slipped off the track, we're trying to do everything we can academically to get them back on. So that was good. We were able to go out and see some high schools play with recruiting-wise. I was able to go out and see 2 high schools a week ago, which was great for me, and that was locally. We went to all the games 2 nights in a row here, and then we went all over the state of Texas, also looking at recruits and evaluating the talent. So I think it was really good. The players honestly did a nice job, worked hard. We were able to go out and go walkthroughs with them, going over the Tulane information that we had up until that time last week. So we really had a good week. And no one got hurt. And everybody's healthy. Except on Saturday when we padded up in practice, we had a redshirt freshman dislocate his shoulder during the practice. So I guess the only way you can be sure of not getting anybody hurt is to not practice. Hard to improve your tackling and blocking when you don't practice. So we are going to continue to practice. And we practiced in pads on Saturday and Sunday. And like we had the one redshirt kid get hurt, but other than that, we didn't. We scrimmaged the young players, the red shirts, and the guys who haven't played much. We hit them and did a lot of hitting drills with them, and still did tackling drills, obviously, with our defense. Any questions on the Houston game? Seems like a year ago, doesn't it? Sucking air, right. Oh. That's why you smiled when I said that. No, we were not. On the sideline, we had plenty of energy left in the fourth quarter. And we weren't, we have only had one player cramp up this year. So we've done a great job of dealing with the heat. And I was trying to make a compliment to my strength coach, who does a nice job with our conditioning, and did this last week. We were probably more of being out of position. We just have to align properly, which we did not do, and then we have to go to our responsibility and do our assignment. If 2 guys go to the wrong gap and they run the ball over here, then it's hard to make a tackle. And then you get out of position and they run through your arm tackles and stuff like that. So it was I thought we just got out-athleted, and I thought we were trying to block guys down rather than tackle guys. You know how kids will do that? There's not a coach in the country that teaches that tackle, where you're running shoulder and trying to block the guy down. But you see it all the time, don't you? And usually when they're missing them. So we keep stressing those fundamentals, and a lot of tackling is recruiting. You spend a lot of time to teach tackling. A lot of times recruiting is the way to help get better tacklers. It could have been, but it probably wasn't. It was close, but it could have been. Yes, there is a trade-off between not practicing in pads, blocking, tackling, scrimmaging, playing the game of football a lot in practice, and staying away from injuries. And I'm kind of snake bit about the injuries right now. But we will still do tackling drills. You can still align properly and go to your right gap, and you can still run over and buzz your feet and stay close to the running back, and we can hit dummies and we can hit each other and stuff like that. So without pads and without full-out scrimmaging. I think, I'm old school coach, and so this is the way football is going to continue to be, more like this, I think, than what it was 10, 15 years ago. Well, you want to hit the player with the plastic of your helmet and your shoulder pads, and with your head up. So it comes from your hips and your knees. You strike the low like this with your arm. You go through your hands right here. You hit the plastic right here. So you look right here, and your head will naturally slide off to the side. Snap it right there. It comes right into your hips and your butt and everything. Like that. That's how. So as we come up to a guy, we want to come under control, come to balance, but you don't want to stop. And that's kind of what we've been doing. Stopping, because when you stop, you have to restart. Come to balance, and then explode through the player like that. And so then we just set up tackles where you can do that without really killing the guy, because we want to try to grab cloth when you come here, grab cloth, the jersey. Now the jerseys are very hard to grab. Used to be when they were bulky like this, you grab a guy by the jersey. Now most of them are pretty tight. Grabbing cloth is more of a term of using grabbing fingers. You don't teach anybody to come in and pull a shoulder and dive a guy's leg. We teach low tackling, we teach high tackling. We teach side tackling, we teach tackling from the we teach tackling from behind, and behind the straight ball. So those are all drills that come to practice, and a lot of you guys do. You see us doing those drills all the time. So it's just something you got to work on. But I think the real key sometimes is recruiting guys that can do those things. Well, it has to do with attitude, and it has to do with athletic ability. Those two things, and attitude. They say tackling is 90% attitude. Most of the guys you get here now in college, they got an attitude. They got an attitude. They got the right attitude. They just don't have the right feet. Well, I hope so. I think I was glad to see Joe get those yards and play better. We still got to do a better job of having people miss when we have the ball in open field. that wouldn't be one of our strengths, I think, as a team. It looks like sometimes we're on radar to go find the safety and run into him, you know, instead of faking him out. So we're improving that. I think the additional help that we've had on the offensive line is no question helped us quite a bit. And then while we were playing the other kids that maybe are not starting now, we still have depth, so that helps our conditioning too, when you can send in a guy for 3 or 4 plays and he's not going to mess it up because he's already started for you. So we unknowingly created a lot of depth on the offensive line and unknowingly created a lot of depth with the running back position, because now Joe's playing well. Leland Myers is playing really well in short yardage situations. Vernon Frazier's playing well in special teams, and Nathan Jeffrey is playing well in just about everything he's doing. He's still got to work on blitz pickup and blocking and those kind of things. But so I think those, and Lamison has not played a whole bunch. You know, he's only played 2.5 games, yet he's still throwing at almost 64%. His passing efficiency is, if it was recorded right now, would be the 3rd in the history of the school, which is kind of interesting. So he's probably playing better than good. I gave him a B grade, but he's probably playing better than good, and he will continue to. You know, he separated his shoulder and had to have a Novocaine shot in his shoulder to be able to play. So it wasn't like it was wasn't bothering him, because it was. And he was a little rusty. Our team may be a little bit rusty for the lack of practice that we've had, but we still. That doesn't mean we're not going to practice good this week, and so we'll and I really didn't notice it in these last 2 days of being off, you know, the passing game and the timing. It didn't seem that far off, so we'll be able to get that back in shape. So we're excited about going down to New Orleans, obviously. Anything else? Good questions. Let's talk a little bit about Tulane. Well, their quarterback, Ryan Griffin, is playing wonderful. He was 26 of 30 for 350 yards and 3 touchdowns last week against Syracuse. Brought them from behind in the game to tie the game, and then Syracuse drove late in the game and kicked the field goal to win. But Tulane played very, very well against against Syracuse. They have a running back who's a sophomore, number 26. They named the town after him. Orleans Darkwa is his name. Big, good inside runner, number 26. His backup is a kid by the name of Kelly, who's real fast, number 25, who returned kickoffs for him. They had a freshman receiver catch 3 touchdown passes, 2 in the 4th quarter against Syracuse this week for 3 touchdowns and a ton of yardage. Xavier Rush, number 82. And he's not their leading rusher. Joe Kemp, number 7, a senior, is their leading wide receiver. Big, physical offensive line, strong. Bob Toledo's an excellent coach. He's done a great job down there. I mean, really, really good job at Tulane to take that program after Katrina, to recruit to that university after Katrina, to organize it, to keep the spirit, to keep the team up, to keep the academics up, to continue to recruit and play well. He's done a tremendous job. He's in every game that they play. He's a real good offensive coach. You think I have tricks up my sleeve? He's got more tricks than Carter's got pills. So he's a fine man, and he's kept the team together through adversity. They're 2-4, and only won 2 games, but you wouldn't know it by the way that they played. They're going to give us everything they got, and the feeling will be mutual. They have a great defensive end, number 6, Moore, their pass rusher. 3 defensive tackles that they play 2 at a time and then alternate it. 98, 99, and 92 are big, strong, 6'2", 6'3", 310-pound guys that come off and smack you in the mouth and are very, very aggressive and very strong. So their front 7, 4 D linemen, 3 linebackers are very good. Their two linebackers are a pair of the best in our conference. And number 35, Farley, who's really tough. And number 20, Trent Mackey, who had 18 tackles against Syracuse and has just been fantastic. Number 20 and number 35 are good. So their defense is better than last year, and their offense is better than last year. And as you know, this was a tough game for us against them last year also. So it's a big game for us, big game for them. He thought the Syracuse game was pivotal for his season, his one-loss record. I heard him comment. I watched the game on TV, and the announcer said that. But but it really meant nothing as far as Conference USA. So they can get back on the winning track, and they've beat us twice down there, once last year here, and so we're going to do everything we can to win this game. It's real important. Boy, if I knew it, I would change it, Brett. But I don't know why their success has been so good against us. Just last year's game was close. Trevor didn't practice all week. We practiced in offense with JT as the quarterback. We made a last-second decision to go with Trevor. He played pretty good, and we used JT a little bit also in the game. But they made some big plays toward the end and won the game. But the other two games, we were ahead. The other game went to overtime and lost. We haven't played very well down there, I don't think. It's a big, beautiful stadium, but they don't draw real well, so it's kind of quiet, cavernous feeling. You can hear yourself think in the stadium. So that's a little different, but I don't know. I don't know what the reason is. I wish I knew it. But we got to change, whatever it is. And we're making some changes in our flight arrangements. We're making some changes in what we're doing when we go down there that are different than what we did before. We're just going to go down to New Orleans and get blasted for a couple of days and then see how it works out. Just kidding. Now, that'll make every newscast tonight, won't it? Why do I stick my foot in my mouth like that? Do you want me to call Diana first, or will you go ahead and call her? Okay, thanks. Yeah. They played really bad against Army, and it was at Army. They play very good in their stadium at home. They're a good football team. We're going to have to play our best to win the game. It's going to be competitive. 4 quarters. And I wish I could tell you something different. What's that? Yeah, I think everyone's going to play. Matt snapping, feeling good. Adam practiced 2 days. He's not up to 100%, I wouldn't think, but he's going to be able to play for sure. That'll be nice. We've got to keep him that way this week, though. Got to keep him fresh, and we've got to keep him eager. Want them really eager. They got to be really eager to play now. They got to be sick and tired of seeing each other. Should be like a first game for us going down there. Well, I'm not as surprised because I felt the character of this team and watched the character build of this team. So that's what's getting us through the tough times right now is the leadership from younger players. Our younger players are doing the right things in the classroom. They're doing the right things off the field. They get together really well. They have good team chemistry. And I think we lucked out and recruited pretty good. With some of the guys that we recruited. So, like I said before, we have the brightest orange in the state of Texas. Okay, thanks.